What's going on YouTube? It's your boy J Chef here. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you exactly how I made $1,200 from digital marketing. So let's just get right into it. If you're new to the channel, this is MACC Lifestyle, where I am MACC, show you how I live my lifestyle. I'll be showing you guys money flips, what kind of plays I make, kind of side hustles I got, and just how I really fund this lifestyle, how you really do it. And if you don't already subscribe, go ahead and subscribe down below. Make sure you like the video too, definitely helps with the algorithm, shares the video to more people, and that is good. We want to share this to more people. We are trying to make money. So what's up? I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about me. I go by AWaterMac on Instagram. If you don't follow me, I'm gonna go ahead and, shameless plug right there. Go ahead and subscribe. So I'm gonna be telling you guys a little bit about myself. I started in high school. I was always entrepreneurial, man. I was always, trying to get the bag.
2 words: entrepreneurship.
A whole lot of things, man. Let's just say that. So always entrepreneurial, right? Then I went into college, and I figured this is the time where you really got to start getting there. Like the high school money ain't gonna cut it no more. And so in college, I signed up for web development. I figured I'm gonna be a computer programmer. However, the college, they never actually had me taking any actual programming classes. I was learning online by myself. I was watching YouTube, taking a whole lot of free code camp, and eventually it got to a point where I signed my first client in college. And so I dropped out of college so I could go work for my client. And so I started working a job straight out of college, didn't have a college degree yet. I was a college dropout, and I was already working for a web development client. I was already building my first website for a client.
Oh my God! Wow!
You guys heard about Tran? He actually got into a lot of stuff here on YouTube. Let's just say he got into a lot of shit. But yeah, Tran, I was rocking with him way back when he was actually talking about honest careers, when he was talking about actually how you can get a bag. This is before he was selling. I mean, I think he was still selling a course at the time, but I never buy anybody's course. That's one thing I want to verify, is you don't have to buy a course. Everything I learned from free on YouTube, on free code camp, on just free resources. Maybe I paid for, I think the only course I ever paid for was a real estate course on Coursera, and that's just to get my actual real estate license. That's not a digital marketing course. All the digital marketing I really learned for free, just doing the research, just taking the time to learn it. Yeah, I watched a couple of Matt Tran's videos. At the time, he was going by Engineered Truth. I was watching a lot of Engineered Truth, and they were talking about this opportunity in digital marketing. They were saying how nobody really knows how it's doing. It's such a growing field, and it's a new field, that there's really not a lot of people who can do it. There's a lot of young people, just like me, without a lot of experience, who are over here running the social media for Wendy's, running these big pages. They're over here, young people like me, running the Wendy's pages, running the Twitter pages, running their Instagram pages for these big companies. And best believe it's not the CEO of the company running these pages. It's somebody like me, you. It's a younger person, a social media manager, and they're in digital marketing. That's their field of work. And so that's what interested me. I decided, hey, let me figure out how I can make Facebook, how I can make Instagram into a career. And so I went down this digital marketing path, and actually not very quickly I signed a client. So after teaching myself these skills, like I said, I was self-taught. I learned, oh shit, let me not hit the microphone. Yeah, I was self-taught. Only certifications I had were from Google. You're able to take this Google test and get your Google development course, your Google digital licensing course, and you're able to get certified from Google for free. And those are the only certifications I really had on my resume. I let people know that I was a college dropout. I let people know that I didn't have any experience, but I was still getting called for interviews. In the interview, they were asking me questions, and the thing is, they didn't even know the answer to a lot of these questions themselves. They would ask me things about PPC, and they would ask me, what does PPC stand for? Pay per click. What does pay per click mean? And I'm like, you don't understand marketing. How are you going to ask me what pay per click is? That's not even, like, the interviews were literally trivial for some of these companies. And so that's when I understood how the lack of the big need for digital marketers there actually was. That's when I understand the lack of digital marketers there actually was out there. There's nobody actually out here creating these ads for these companies. All right, so after watching a couple of Engineered Truths video, I taught myself digital marketing, got my Google certifications, and I started applying to jobs. I started mass applying. I started tailoring my resume to the ATS system, which I show you guys how to do in one of my other videos, but making sure that my resume was actually read, because that's a whole nother game. You got to make sure that you don't get sent into the resume black hole. But my resume was going through. I was getting calls back from reporters. I was getting called back from interviewers, from a lot of these hiring managers, and they were asking me what kind of experience I had, and they can tell that I was young. However, the thing is, they can tell I knew more than they still did. With this marketing thing, there's not a whole lot of people who are experienced and know what they're doing with digital marketing. It's nothing like traditional marketing. People were calling back, and I actually got in a couple interviews. I ended up getting hired by a stem cell clinic, which unfortunately that clinic had shut down. I worked there for about 5-6 months, and then the clinic had shut down because they were actually fighting an FDA law. So not just that clinic, but all clinics across the entire United States were no longer allowed to do stem cell treatments. And this was around the same time that Nipsey Hussle passed away. And so I thought it was very big with Nipsey Hussle working with Dr. Sebi at the same time. They also shut down stem cell clinics, but that's something else I don't even want to get into, because obviously, you know, like, that's something you want to be speaking about. But that's not the gist of this channel. Let's go ahead and keep it on the finance side. But so yeah, when I was working for that clinic, that clinic had actually gotten shut down, so I started applying to new roles. And at that clinic, my role was actually a marketing specialist. When I started applying to new roles, my new role was actually a marketing coordinator. And so I moved up with just 6 months of experience. I was applying to new companies, and that lack of good digital marketers, the fact that nobody actually knew what digital marketing was, what PPC was, what pay-per-click was, what the cost per acquisition, how much you're paying to target these leads actually meant. These companies were actually, there was a lot of companies offering me, the fact that I had experience now, they were offering me a lot more. And so my second role, I was already getting $75K, and that's just literally like not even a year into digital marketing. I've been 10 months at this point, not even a full year into digital marketing. I was already making $75K a year. And so that's when I really understood this is a career. This is, at this point, it's not just a fad. It's not just the internet. It's gonna go away sometime. No, this is here to stay. This is with the internet. As long as there's billboards, as long as there's advertisements, as long as there's YouTube, there's gonna be ads on your phone. Okay, so I know I told you in the title of this video how I made $1,200 a month digital marketing. So let me go ahead and get into the freelance side of things. So at first, like I told you, I was really just working jobs up until this point. However, after 3 months in, my last client I was actually working for actually mentioned to me, they're the ones that told me, that said, hey, have you ever thought about a contract position? And I actually didn't think about it at the time, but I realized that would be perfect for what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do YouTube videos, film from home. It would eliminate the drive from traffic. I no longer need to drive 2 hours to and from the office. And so it was perfect for me. So I ended up taking them on as an independent contractor. And from there, I created my own digital marketing agency. Now I was used to working with clients actually externally and no longer having to be in the office, but actually had the discipline to work from home, to work on my own computer, to wake up and still get done what needs to be done. And so now at this point, I was a freelancer. At this point, I'm able to do digital marketing wherever I want. I can go to Las Vegas, which I did. I took a week in Las Vegas and was just working in the hotel room. I was just wake up, as long as you have your laptop and as long as you have internet, you're able to get to work. And so I was in Vegas working for a week, still enjoying my nights off. Then I came back. And so what I'm trying to get into is, as a freelancer, you have a lot more opportunity. All right. And so now let's get into the good part, how I actually made $1,200 freelancing. So at this point, I was working with one client still by myself. I was still taking that contract work. However, my old client from the stem cell clinic had actually reached out to me. Not my client, but my coworker. So one of my coworkers, I keep getting really into the mic, but one of my coworkers had actually reached out to me and said that she and her husband had actually needed a website built. And from there, I actually was able to look up the pricing. I was able to do the research, see what kind of pricing, what kind of needs they need. And then from there, I was actually able to go and meet with the client. And so, yeah, my old coworker had actually reached out to me saying that her and her husband had actually need a website built. So I went over to their house. We had actually just sat down over dinner, over tea, and we discussed what their business opportunities were, what their business plans were, and what they planned on doing with their business. And they said they needed a website built, that they were trying to do international shipping. It was a lot of things that I was already comfortable with. And from that point, it was just a matter of just closing the sale. I used my previous sales experience. They were already comfortable working with me. And so it wasn't really even hard to close that sale. And so congratulations, right? Wrong. Problem was, I hadn't gotten paid yet. We had just had the proposal. They didn't give me $1,200. It's not like, you know, drug deals and they don't just give you $1,200 in cash. And so I went home, I sent the invoice to them that night. As soon as I got home, they agreed to work with me. Next day, didn't hear anything. Day after that, still didn't hear anything. Then on day 3, they opened the invoice. Still didn't hear anything. Didn't pay the invoice. Day 4, no pay. This went on for 2 weeks. After the second week, I decided to reach out to the client, let them know, hey, I'm trying to work on your website, but I actually need the money to buy your website, to buy the domain. And so I reached out to the client, let them know, and they had told me they actually hadn't received the invoice. And so I sent them an updated invoice to another email they had where they actually had gotten the invoice there. PayPal actually did charge me. And so if you look here, I'll put my screenshots, should be up on the screen. But PayPal actually did charge me, which actually wasn't too much considering it was $1,200. That's not a considerable amount. And then you also do need to realize you need to hold on to some of this for taxes. You do not want to spend all this money. So the first thing I did was put some aside, create my tax account, and hold on to some of that. That's something you guys need to get familiar with. If you're going to be working as an independent contractor, you got to pay your own taxes at the end of the year. This is income. This is income you have to report to the IRS. If not, they come to get you. Uncle Sam gonna want that. Make sure the first thing you do is put that away. But at this point, I had now actually gotten paid, and I had actually tried digital marketing and made $1,200. And at this point, I had making well over $1,200 in digital marketing. This is just one specific example for how I signed a specific client to show you guys how the possibilities, you know. And this client was somebody I did work with before, but I'm trying to let you guys know that's how you build your job network. That's how things work. You do have to have these contacts, and that contact I got was from somebody I didn't know before. It was just a random stem cell clinic I applied to. I had no connections there, ended up getting the job, and from there, that's how you build your job network. From there, I had people reaching out to me saying I need websites built, and it's just been an ongoing process. But that's like 20 minutes. I've got a lot of editing. But there you have it. This is how I, a Mac, made $1,200 digital marketing, all that internet money, and I was just trying to show y'all. Make sure if you like the video, you hit the like button down below. Definitely helps the algorithm, gets this thing spread out, helps others make some money, because, I mean, you can't hate on people making money. There's enough to go around, trust. Everybody needs a website. Think about how many local businesses, that's a whole other point. Anyways, make sure if you like the video, you hit the like button down below. If you found anything useful, make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, bro. Got more videos. Make sure you check out the rest of the content. I'll be showing you guys more plays I make, more hustles I do, and just overall how you can make some money, how you get your pockets up. This shit ain't hard, man. Let's do it. Do it for the culture. Shout out my people. You guys have a good one. We out.